then, so welcome to our today's class recording. Yesterday we did something on the that is on the chart on the dashboard. We see how we can format charts, how we can design charts. Remember also design work here, it is important. Okay, so basically we went through all that. Okay, so maybe before we can continue, I will welcome question answer sessions before we can look at lightly on the DAX. Okay, and then most probably next week we'll now do W. Okay, yes, most probably next week we'll just finish the last topic on Power BI, and then we will do that is we will introduce power that is W. Okay, the good thing with W, it's the same thing which we've done that is in Power BI. So if we do Power BI well, okay, W is just a matter of drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, yes. I don't know if we have questions about our yesterday's class. Yes, I can see Cosmas and his app. Yes, Cosmas.
Okay, good evening, Onyx.
Good evening.
Okay, I have only like two questions. One is concerning what we did yesterday.
Hmm.
So maybe you can click for me. I just want to see the map because I am not getting the points itself from that map.
Okay, like you, for your case, you don't have the that is these bubbles. That's what you mean?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so you just click there, the map, and then you will come and see what we did here. So basically, under the map, we remember we selected the globe. Okay, make sure you are
Mm.
selecting the globe. Then bring state under the location. Okay, and then bring. We also have that is a bubble part. So you'll take your cells, all your the total cells, to the what? To where we have the bubble size. Okay? And then you'll take also the operating cost, the operating margin, sorry, at what? That is the top tails. So that when you hover around, okay, when you hover your that is your work around, okay, you can watch. You can see. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, so that if you move that is hover your mouse around, you can see now the summary of the state, the total or the sum of total cells, and also the operating margin. Is your answer is your question answered? Your first question answered?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Or you want maybe to re-show you again here, or you are sorted already.
Okay, maybe you can redo it because normally I have never interacted with maps. I normally use QGIS.
Okay. So basically, okay, we can redo it totally, right? Okay. So what we did, we came to the map, okay, and under the map, we went to location, okay. So for the location now, we took what? The state to the location. Okay. Once you create that is the state, okay, you will see something like this. You'll see something like this. Okay. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, whatever that is design you want. Okay. Then we'll take total cells under the what? The bubble size. So that the bubbles, all these bubbles, might reflect according to what? To the total cells. Like for example, you can see when it comes to that is the size. Okay, the size of the bubble. You can see the bubble size is according to the total cells. You can see with New York State to be the leading one. Okay, and then we have also other that is let's say states. Okay, yes, we good. Then
And Abraham,
yes,
mine is not showing. It's showing the counts of, and I'm trying to change to some in terms of in bubble size.
you are trying like what you are saying. Sorry.
Because yours it shows sum of total sales, so I just want to change to sum because mine is showing the sum, the counts.
Okay, so you'll just come to the drop down here. Okay, just click drop down and go to sum. If yours is showing count, okay, if yours is just showing count, okay, just come here and do what? Change it to sum, and it will show you now together.
I don't know. My Power BI is
May-
not.
Maybe can you share your screen? I know we might be having different versions, so maybe you can quickly share your screen and then I will be able to help you.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, just a minute.
So
Yes.
so when I click these are that you are saying, it's not giving me.
Okay. Just a minute. Can you scroll up? Good. You see now here you have. Can you scroll up? Maybe I want to see. Down. hmm Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Can you go drop down maybe now? I just want to check on that. Can you show values S? Can you go to that? Okay, okay. hmm Don't know why. Maybe can you try to zoom in? That is your map. Okay. Now, can you take just drag that is the total cells to drag it down to the bubble size. I don't know what is the
I don't know.
problem. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We can continue. I will see it later if it works.
Okay, okay, no worries. Okay, so basically, maybe we can check if it is a issue of setting kind of. Okay, don't know. Because we are dragging the same, but we are having the different. That is the different results. Okay. All right. Now, any question? Maybe I want to answer you. That is the questions which you might have. I want to answer your questions. Maybe if something skipped you, okay, or something you did not get it right, it's now the time which you can answer me before I continue. I don't want to come back to chats. Yes,
Abraham,
Anthony.
I would like to, yes, thank you very much. I would like to refer to a query that was made yesterday
Hmm.
about some towns or cities that are probably not recognizable because, as I said when I ran the data,
Hmm.
some were actually showing while others were not. So maybe
In this data set,
no. It was
okay.
a pseudo data set that I was trying to
Oh,
use.
the pseudo. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe why can't we try it? Okay. Maybe why can't we create a pseudo from that is of our own, and maybe
Yeah.
okay. So let's create a pseudo data. Maybe umbrella. Let's say umbrella. Sorry, umbrella cells. Umbrella. I don't know. My key that is key air is not really working. I don't know. It has jammed. Okay. Umbrella. So we have data umbrella D. Okay. So in this case, maybe we can create that is some columns. Okay. We'll have name. Just get it as name. Okay. The reason why, because I don't my A is not working. Okay. We have name of let's say name of or why can't we look at maybe an online data. Okay, we can look at an online data, then we will add our own that is we'll create a column for our own areas. Okay, yes, let's say umbrella, umbrella uh, cells, oops, umbrella cells data. Just copy paste the A because I've already downloaded it. Excel. Mhm. Mhm. Oops, this is not well organized. one wants me to buy. Or maybe someone can have a data set. Yes, Anthony, you have a data set?
Yes, I was saying I could share the exact one that I was
Share it,
rather trying to use.
share it via
I
my
could share it
email.
with you on mail.
Use musembiabraham at gmail.
Okay.
musembiabraham at gmail.com. Let me know when you share. Here is my mail email. Again.
I have shared.
Okay, you've shared. Okay, not yet, not yet. I hope you've shared to this email. Let me write it down.
It
This
is the
one.
one I've used to share. I'm not quite sure why it has taken long
Uh-huh. So
to
you've
reach.
shared to
But for
this
me,
email,
it's in the sent items. Yeah,
Musembi Abraham, this way.
yeah, exactly like that.
Okay, okay, okay. So you had this. Okay. So we have the regions, Kampala. Okay, okay. We have all that. Okay, no worries. Let's try and see. Just a minute. My laptop is acting now. Don't know. Don't know. Okay, we can now check. Let's try to load the data. We have our data here. we'll just create one chart. So we are loading the data, give it some time. Okay, then we are loading the table. This is the table which you are going to load. Then we can come and transform the data. We can come and transform the data. Okay, and then for the data, we can check what type of data do we have. Okay, we need to check what type of data do we have. All right. So, okay, the data type you'll come, you can see it is a text. Then we have all this, it is a text here. Okay, then this is it's a number. Maybe for now we can do what? We can close and load it. Okay. Also, I want maybe to confirm. Let's first of all we'll also confirm the other data type. Okay. What about the other data type? What was so special with the other that is data type? Okay. All right. So we have the first table. Okay. Then for the first table, we can go edit on the query. Let's go edit it on the query. Under the query, we have this now. Region. It is what? It's also let's say a string, a text. State. It is also a string, a state. This is also what? That is a city. Okay. Yes. Then we have this location. Okay. So the location we have just location, and then we have all these different what? Different locations. Okay. All right. We'll just apply. Maybe close and apply. All right, now let's come to build that is our report. So we can take what? This geographical map, okay? Then under the geographical map, we can bring location to location, okay? And you can see what is happening under the location, okay? You can see I'm having now the towns. You can see now I'm having the towns here. You can see how the towns we have. Now, the difference might be, okay, maybe you might be having a town which has a name in a different what? In a different that is area. Like for example, this one, okay? It's it's not we can say it is it's like a coincidence. We also have Goli, okay, in a different region, okay. So if it is mapped in if it is mapped in what? In a different region, what we can do is now maybe add another column for the country. Okay, we have the country where we have the region and the what? And what do we call the country, and then we have the town or maybe the location. Okay, because you can see we also have another one here, Busanga, in what? In Philippines. Okay, so like we need to, since these are not unique names, okay, we can add a column, okay, which will give us what? Country. And then we will bring the country first here. You will drag the country first here and then drag the location, okay, because you can see for the ones which we have, you can see also we have another key Baha in what? In Dar es Salaam, Okay. What other location? We have Mombasa. You can see it. Okay. You can also see that is Mirama Hills in what? In Burundi. We have that is Katuna. Okay, in Rwanda. Also Bunagana in Rwanda. So imagine if maybe we had other names, okay, like Nairobi. Let's say, for example, we have another area known as Nairobi. We will have what? It might not be captured in Kenya. It might go to that other region. Okay. Then after that, now we can do what? We can plot the bubble size depending on the what? Depending on the entries, and you can see now for the entries, okay, you can see for the entries now it is depending with what that is the regions. You can see the bubble size depends with the number of entries we have in those locations. I don't know, Anthony, maybe if that satisfies you.
Yeah, Abraham, thank you so much. It serves the purpose.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Next question. Next question. Any other question? Yes, Geoffrey. Maybe you are speaking on mute. I can see it's like you are speaking, but I can't hear you. Hello? You are speaking, Geoffrey? Yes, 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 Geoffrey. Can see your chat. Maybe you can type the question before we can go to. Today I'm using a desktop, not able to speak via. All right. Okay. So you had a question. You had a question. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we can now continue. Now I will start with just simple. That is ways which I can. That is we can use when it comes to DAX. Okay. And I will start by defining DAX. Okay. What is DAX? Maybe someone who might have gone and researched about DAX. What is DAX? DAX. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I will help you. So basically, when we talk about DAX, it's basically we are talking about data analysis expressions. Okay. In Excel, we would say that is data analysis functions. Okay, like we have count if, we have that is yes, let's say count if, We have what else? Um, Concatenate. You like all those Excel functions. We have summies, all those. Okay. Yes. So those are the one those are the data analysis expressions. So in Power BI we call them DAX. Okay, and they really help us when we want to create that is new measures. Okay, if we want to create new measures, it's when we use what? We use DAX. Okay, like for example, let's assume we did not have total sales. Okay, let's assume our data did not have total sales. Okay, then we could do what? We could calculate or use DAX to calculate our total sales. And we know that total sales are given by the that is unit sold. It's given by unit sold multiplied by the price per unit. Okay, let's try and confirm if this, okay, if this column is what gives us, that is the product of the price per unit and that is unit sold. Okay, so we do that by creating DAXes along what? Our table. Okay. Like for example, we can create a measure or create a new column. Okay. And that column we will use it to do what? To do that calculation using formulas. Okay. Like for example, why can't we have maybe have that is a column, and that column we call it T cells, because we cannot have columns with what, with the same titles. Okay, so to create a measure you'll need to come to your table. Okay, make sure you highlight your table this way, then right click. You can create a new measure, whereby when you are creating a new measure you'll just create, like for example, if I want to create a new measure which will give us now the total that is the total number of units sold. Okay, the total number of units sold. Okay, I can create what? I can create that is that measure, and not as a column but as a one value. Okay, all right. Now let's try to create that is a column. I will start with a column because it's the simplest. Okay, it's the simplest which we can have. Okay, so in this case, as I have said, we will have to right click. We'll have to come and right click on the, that is on the column. Okay, we'll come to right click here on the our table, and then we'll create what? We'll create a new column. Okay, so if you click create a new column, you can see we have added what? We have added a new column. Okay, so after adding the new column, now we can do what? We can insert our calculations here. You can see we have now the column, then equal sign. Okay, how can we rename this? You can replace this column with a name. Let's say, like for example, I'll come and say T, then talk of that is sales, that way, to mark it as total sales. Okay, then after that I will now need to do what? To see all that is the data which I want to do what? Which I want to use to do our calculations. Okay, so if you open with a single quote, you'll be able to see all the what? All the columns we have in that table. You can see we have the city, you can see we have invoice, data, you can see we have operating margin, operate, all these columns which we can see. Okay, and it starts with the name of the what? The name of the table. So we can start with the name of the table first of all, and then we want what? What column do we want? We want the column on the price per unit. So I'll come here and maybe check here. Just use this. I'll just come and click price per unit, and I have my first column. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to do multiplication. Okay, I'm going to do multiplication because we are trying to see the total sales. Okay, and we've said the total sales is the price per unit multiplied by unit sold. So I'll come also and check that. Okay, I'll come and also use the opening that is quote, and then I will go to unit sold, units sold, and I will do that. Okay, and then I'll just click enter, and once I will click enter, it will recalculate everything. Okay, it will calculate all our data. All right. Yes, and you can see for sure our data is what? That is our data is correct. Okay, but is it really correct? Because you can see here we have this value and we have this value. Okay, maybe if you roughly calculate what, which is the correct value, is it this column or is it this column? If you do, maybe you can do a manual calculation. Yes? Someone has a question?
I know it's not a question, but
Uh-huh.
the column that we have just created
Mm-hmm.
is the one that gives the right value.
Mm-hmm.
The other one has a factor of 10 for all of them,
Mm-hmm.
so we can't tell where that 10 is coming from.
Yes.
But for sure, if we are to use logic,
Mm-hmm.
then ultimately it is the one we just created is the one which is correct.
Yes. So meaning the one which you created, okay, is the correct. Okay. The first one, it's because we created I just created added a zero. Okay. Like in terms of tens. Okay, in terms of tens, so that at least we may also have that difference. You may observe like if you don't want maybe already prepared data, you can as well do what? Recheck how correct it is. Okay, you can as well recheck how correct it is. Okay, yes, but basically here the idea is to know how to do what? How to create a calculated what? Column. Okay, how you can create calculated columns. Okay, all right. That was creating a new column with what? With calculations. Okay, we were creating a new column with what? With calculations. So we will now need to basically um, uh, see how now we can create, let's say, a measure. When I say a measure, it's like, for example, the way we have maybe like we can create one value here and include it as a measure on the what? On the table. Meaning you will be able to see it in the table as well. Also, you can see our cells has been reflected. And if you look on the total cells, it's not just a sum. It is a calculated. You can see we have a calculated what? It's we have it's somehow uniquely presented. Okay, all right, good. Now we need to do what? Now we need to, but before we can create a measure, I want also to show you something, okay? Like for example, let's say, remember here, we had our data in what? That is under report. You can see we had like the average operating margin, okay, as what? As a value, okay? Or as a number, and maybe we want it to be as a what? Percentage. You can always come here on the data, highlight, and then you will do what? You change the formatting. Okay, you'll come here, highlight, change the formatting. If it is the total sales and the profits, you can as well come here and do what? Change it to currency. All right, and then by default it will go to with the US dollars. You can as well come here and change it to that is currency. That's something which I had already forgotten to that is to show you. Okay, yes, also we can have these cells as what? As currency as well. Okay, and then you can come back to your that is the chart, and you can see that as reflected. Okay, that as reflected. We also have price per unit. Yes, price per unit is also where do we have price per unit? It's also that is a percentage, sorry, not percentage, it's a currency, sorry, it's a currency. Then after that you can as well maybe reduce the what? Reduce the number of decimals if you don't want maybe the decimals. Okay, oops, I just added instead of reducing, so I can keep it that way. Yes, and then if you come here, you can see the decimal as that is have been has been reduced. You can as well come to the one, this one, okay, this one, okay. Can also come to this one. Just a minute. Salto. Okay, 0. Let me check. Yes, you can also see it doesn't what? Have decimal. Also for these ones, if you want it to be 0, you can as well come here and do what? Change it to change them to that is 0. Mhm. Can have it at 0. Okay, here we can also have it at 0. Okay, yes, and then if you go here, you can see now it is a whole number. Okay, so that's also how you can do what you can do such an expression. Okay, all right. What about maybe creating a new measure? Okay, what about creating another new measure? So I want maybe the sum of all that is sold units. Okay, sum of all sold units. So in this case, you can also come here, right click here, and then create what? Create a new measure. Okay, so if you create a new measure, you'll have the measure here. Okay, and I will call that measure total, let's say total units sold. Okay, that is how we will name our measure. And then I can come and do what? Do just a simple sum. Okay, I'll just come here and do a simple sum. Okay, and the simple sum will be of all the total units sold. Okay, and then I can do what? I can close my formula and then just click enter. So if I click enter, you will see now a new measure has been added here. Okay, you can see here we have a new measure. All right, and how is this new all these new measures that is helpful to us? Okay, how are they helpful, or how do they really help us? Okay, now, maybe before we can even go to that is how they help us, you can as well see, for example, here on the that is on this invoice. Okay, you can see this is the invoice date, the way it is looking like. It has the day, it has the date, it has October, it has the month and the year. What about if we wanted a column which would show us the day only? Okay, we could come here and create maybe a measure. It will come here and maybe create a new column measure. Okay, create a new column measure. And then on the column measure, we can name it as uh, we can come and here and name it weekday. Okay, we will call it weekday. Okay, then under weekday we'll now come here and use the weekday formula. We have a week what? Weekday formula. Or why can't we go with a week number? Let's say, for example, we want to present our data in week numbers. Okay, so I will call this week number. Okay, so we'll now come here and say that is create the formula as week number. You'll come here, do a week number. The way we do it in yeah, it has given me an error because I haven't finished working on it. Okay, so when it's the same formula, okay, we use when we are doing what? We are doing that is date, that is we are using Excel. Okay, we can do what? A week number, we can extract a week number from a date, such things. Okay, so in this case, we need work a week number, and the week number will be taken from the invoice date. Okay, then comma, we want it maybe to be let's say we can go with 1. Okay, and then do what? Close our formula. Then after that, just click enter. It will update all this error. And so you can see now the week numbers we have, okay, per the date. Okay, you can see all these week numbers we have. Okay, all right, good. Now, what other thing? Maybe week name. We want to add a week name. Or maybe, let's say, we want to combine that is we want to combine the retailer name and the retailer ID to be one. Okay, remember we can use what? We can use concatenate. Okay, or we can use any other kind of what formula, because like for example, let me just come here. I want to show you whatever we've done that is here. We can as well do it in Excel. Okay, yes, just a minute. Like for example, okay, like for example, if I come here and maybe insert a column and then say I want what? Week number. I would just come here and say I want week number of this date, comma, maybe I want us it from be Monday to Monday to that is the start day it's Monday. Okay, so you can see we can just come here and change these to number. Make sure you change these to that is column to number. So you can see we have all these week numbers. Okay. What about maybe if we wanted to combine, let's say, connect the what? The region and the state. Or the state, okay, Northeast New York, like region and the what? And the state to be maybe our address. Let's say we have what? Address. Okay. So in this case, we can come either use the Excel formula concatenate. We can concat, then come here, take this value, then comma, and then we can do what? We can create a space between by using opening quote, then space, and closing quote, and then a comma, and then that is the next region, which is the state, and then close it, and we would get what? We would get that is the address as Northeast, that is New York. Okay, that is one method of doing it. Okay, so the other method which we are going to use in Power BI, it's a method like this. You can come and select this and then use the and method, okay, to concatenate. So we'll have and then we'll create some space between the two values. Then also add a and, okay, and then select this new state, and you can see we are achieving the same what? The same results. Those are two ways of concatenating in Excel. Okay. What about now in Power BI if we were to do a concatenation? We can come here, create a measure, okay, a column, all right, and then we'll rename these to address. We'll rename these to address. So I'll just come here, rename it to address, okay, and then we could come and say maybe concat. If you want, we have concatenate. We can use that formula for concatenation. Okay, no worries. Meaning, we would come and say that is, we want to concatenate what? Is it the region? Yes, the region. Okay, all right. Then comma. If we want to create space, you have to create space that way, and then do a comma again and add what we want now, the that that is the second column. So we would come and say we need what? The state. Okay, and then after that we would close our brackets. Okay, but I really don't know if it will work because can see it is already the display that is displaying an error. What about maybe if we click enter? What will happen? It is giving us an error. So meaning we can do what? Remove that is one of the that is the quotes. Meaning this cannot that argument is not workable. It's not workable on Power BI. Okay. So what about if we do enter? Okay, it will give us now this, but without any space. Okay, what about if I put a space, still not giving us the let's say the space. Okay, we can try and check how we can create a space here. Okay, please make sure you can maybe do that, just that. Let me check if it is possible. No, it will give us an error. Maybe we can look at how can we do it. Okay, so if we enter, we will get this. But for my case, I would do what? I would just go with that is the and. Okay, like for example, if I would say address will be now the region. Okay, then comma, or that is or and, sorry, I would come here and say and. Okay, then we would say quotes. Okay, then space quotes. All right, and then I would go to and. Okay, and then under and I would also now go with what was the other? It was now the state. Okay, I would come and go with the state, and then after going with the state, if I enter, you can see now we have the two, that is the address, and also we have a space in between. Okay, yes, that's what that's how we can as well do what, use concatenate, or use this method to do what, to combine two columns. So you can see we have all those that is columns here. Okay, so this will really help us if in case we wanted to do an additional, let's say, report. Like for example, if we wanted to do, let's say, a table. Okay, if we wanted to do a table, and maybe out of the table we wanted to see the total sales per what, per region. So we would come get the region, and then we would come and get what, the total units sold. Okay, by taking that is the calculated. Remember, this is a calculated measure. Okay, the one we created for total units sold. And then if we just click it, you can see now it is giving us what? It is giving us the total units sold. Okay? Yes. We can as well maybe add another column like, mhm, what else did we do? We also made a calculation with the total cells. Where did we do it's here, the T cells. We can as well add T cells. Okay, and you can see now we have the what? We have that is the total units sold. We have the total cells we received from what? From that from those regions. Okay, so meaning here we've used what? The calculated measures. Okay, we have very many measures. Okay, like for example, if I were to ask you, can you maybe that is create months to do what? Let's say year to date that is data. Okay, or that is the year to date maybe sales. Okay, so that can also really help. Maybe you can come to new quick measure, and then add the what, a quick measure. But now maybe why can't we also see, we also created let me create another table. Okay, let me create another table. Okay, and this table I want it to show the what do we call, the number of week, like I want it to be like a weekly, that is a weekly kind of table. Or maybe we can just add that is a slicer, we for what, for weekly number. Okay, for week number. So I would come here and do maybe a slicer, and on the slicer I want to enter the week number. Okay, and on that slicer I want it to be maybe a drop down. Okay, I want it to be a drop down that way. So I would always come and maybe filter the what, the weeks. And you can see, like, if I want maybe data for week number 23 or week number 24, you can get that way. You can get the regions where we had the cells, the unit sold, and you can as well get to know the total, that is sales. Okay, meaning these we created new columns. Okay, calculate using formulas. That's what we call DAX, sum of data analysis expressions, and they are very many. You cannot exhaust, that is, exhaust them. Okay, like for example, you will create just a new column. Okay, if you start with just this, okay, and maybe just do S, or maybe you just do S, you can see these, all these are formulas. We have that is square root. We have standard deviation. Okay, for population mean, for sample mean. Okay, we have summary, switch. So you can do what? You can try and see which element or which formula you can apply. Okay, you can as well maybe just write, let's say, like B, and you can see, if you write B, you can see we have very many formulas under B. It's just because we cannot exhaust everything. If we do C, you can perform chi-square distribution. You can find, that is, the probabilities, like the normal distribution probability values. You can do what? Count. We have count if. Okay. Where do we have CO? U? You can see we have count. Okay, we also have count all, we have count blanks. Okay, you can see all those kind of counts. Okay, you have, so meaning, if you can see also the normal distribution. I know you talked about all this during our, that is, during your statistics class. Okay. Yes. So we have all the functions, okay, that is, which you can use. Those were just an example. I just wanted to show you how you can do it, how you can create, that is, calculated column, or let's say what we call, um, calculated or measures, basically, new measures. Okay, we also have quick measures. Why can't we explore the quick measures? So for the quick measures, if you click quick measures, it will help you now to do these kind of calculations. Okay, you have all these category of calculations. Like if you want to do a correlation, okay, correlation between, maybe, let's say, what correlation can we do here? What kind of correlation can we do? Maybe correlation between, okay, the, that is the cells. Okay, no, I need to look at something else. Maybe correlation between cells and, what else? Maybe operating profit. Correlation between total sales, that is total sales, and the operating margin. Okay, so, or operating profit, we can just go with that. So we can just come here and do maybe a correlation, and then for correlation we have the what? The x-axis can be, maybe the operating profit, and the other variable can be, that is, the total sales. Okay, because remember, when we talk about correlation, we are talking about what? We are talking about two variables. Okay, we are talking about two variables. Okay, yes, so in that case we can do what? We can come and do a quick calculation for correlation. Okay, yes, let me try and see the category. What would be the category? hmm Maybe sales. Okay, then you can do what? You can add. Okay, and you can see if you try to add, you can see this formula, this kind of formula which has been populated. Okay, yes, then you can do what? You can enter it for it to do calculations. If it works, well and good. Okay, depending with your argument, because it also will have to do what? To sense the that is, how does that really make sense? Okay, how does that really make sense? Okay, yes. So if you don't want that is correlation, okay, we can do what? We can do another. Let me just cancel this. Did it create here? Mhm. No, it did not. Okay, maybe we can just go to another measure. Like for example, we want to see the month to date total, quarterly total, or year to date. Let's try to look at year to date. Okay, so the year to date, what are we looking at? We are looking at the year to date of the total sales, and then of course we have the date. We'll go with what? We'll go with the invoice date. Okay, and then we'll add a column. Okay, so if we add a column, you can see this is the formula or the DAX which has been created for us. Okay, we don't need to do what? To create formulas. Okay, we don't have to create formulas, but it has created what? It has created the year to date sales. Okay, and then you can just do what? You can just that is enter. Okay, let me check if it will be added here. This one I will have to delete it from the model. Let me delete this from the model, and also I will delete this from the model. I'll delete this from model. I don't want it. That is for correlation. Then for this one now I will now need it. So I'll just come here and add. Okay, so in fact I added twice, so I'll just come and remove one from the model. Okay, and now you can see we have what? We have sales year to date. Okay, then we can come to our chart. Okay, we can come to our chart and maybe say, why can't we create a table which will show us that is the year to date sales. Okay, so and per maybe state, let's look it at per state. You can look it, let's say for example, if I look at per state, the state will be too much. I don't want state. Maybe per region. Let's go still with region. So and then bring what? And then bring the YTD cells. That is the YTD cells. So if we come to YTD, okay, if we come to YTD, you'll see this like year to date, okay, from the first day of the cell to where we have the last date of the cell. These are the what? These are the cells which each location has what? Has done. Okay? Yes. So this is a good example of just quick calculations. Okay? Yes. So we have those quick calculation when it comes to that is to DAX. Okay? So maybe just to conclude on this, or basically, I'm going to share more DAX functions, okay, even if it's around five of them, you go and see how you can use them in this data, okay, to see how you can create measures or how you can create add new columns which need what formula calculations, okay. Yes, so that at least you can do what you can exercise it, okay. All right, any question up to that point? Any question? Okay, if we are together up to that point, thumbs up.
I think we are not together. Today I had some challenges in terms of my laptop.
No worries. The good thing now we have that is the class recording, so maybe you can follow up after the class, right?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, our ladies, are we together? Cynthia, Marty, Winnie, Carol, are we good? Awesome, awesome. Good, 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 good. All right. Then maybe for today we can close it at that point. I will share more